listening. Somebody me.
What me? Yeah. See, I'm a badass. I'm stuck here at anchor and it is windy and windy as can be. Just pulling the boat in different directions like this and like that. Wow, yeah. It's calmed down already a little bit today. It's supposed to calm down tomorrow. But this has been the past almost 2 weeks, almost every day, at least the past 5 days here or more. Just incredible, just torquing and torquing, and even at night. So I might move to the marina for a few days, rinse off the boat, charge it. Holy shit, something just broke, god damn it. Must be my snubber that just broke, god damn. Well, it's just what I thought would happen. My snubber line broke. Just had to cut it free. Snubber's still here. Snap, man. Just snap. This is pretty tough rope. Look at that. So I'm gonna put it back on.
Well, that is what has been going on out here in the bay. But for some of us, the bay is kind of a distant memory. Like up here in a neighborhood called Cruz, which is now where Peter and Lily have docked, in this building. And this little red car is their new dinghy of sorts.
So here we are today in Pete's apartment here in a neighborhood called Cruz. Pretty cool apartment, just got it, an amazing view. And he just got himself a little television, check this out. Small screen television.
So with their average sized TV, Peter and Lily now live in this average city apartment, which is actually pretty high standing for most average Middle East citizens. As for the boat, well, it is now home for just Alec and Jennifer. And there is a great advantage to being here on the water. The floating bar is open and very alive on weekends. As you can see, we here in Cape Verde are not too badly affected by the pandemic. Restaurants are open, and only 6 people per table are allowed, our social distancing. And small social gatherings are tolerated, such as this party our friends Mauricia and Fanny invited us to. The island of San Vicente has become our little oasis of some normalcy in a world gone crazy. Which is to say, we get to go crazy too, but in a fun way. This is Mindelo, whose citizens have survived pandemics, lack of food, and no rain for years. So as always, here we live for today, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. It may be worse, or better. Another ship has anchored in the bay. As always again, sailors from all over the world have been sailing into Mindelo. And today, we will get a closer look at this interesting old-school vessel. It's manned by Marcus and its captain Dave. Originally from Alaska, he and a crew of newbie sailors sailed it down from Denmark. It's been over 3 years since, and Dave will confirm it was a challenge. And it is still a challenge. When he got the boat, Labora had not sailed in over 30 years. And today, it is in constant need of care and repair. This lady dates back many years. She was initially a Danish fishing vessel. Later, masts and rigging made the girl a sailing vessel. Apart from being a sailing vessel, Labora has nothing in common with this. It stayed for a few days to then be delivered where the rich and famous play. As for Labora, she and her crew fits well with the rest of us misfit sailors who have made Mindelo our pandemic home. We're not rich, but we still have some freedoms that allow us to play. It's Sunday afternoon in Sao Pedro, a little fishing village just south of Mindelo, and Peixe has invited us to come to a barbecue at his friend's house here. Again, we're allowed a small social gathering.
What did me? Yeah. Say, I'm a badass.
So after a couple of grogs and stumperot, Peixe and Andrea mend the fire. Morris, the host and fisherman, does what he does best, as do his neighbors. And kids, well, they do what kids do. And then Peixe and me take the kids out for a walk to the beach. As you can see, it's pretty normal Sunday afternoon here on Sao Pedro Beach. There are no lifeguards here, but then again, Peixe stands guard over our youths. Me and Peixe had moved into the marina. We brought down the Genoa to get it repaired. Luckily, the tear was along a stitch, so with the help of my neighbor Isham here, I just stood by and watched. Thanks, guys. Isham is a long-term resident of Mindelo, going back and forth from Brussels, Belgium to a house he has here. But he recently decided to buy a sailboat and sail down here due to difficult traveling conditions. Thank you, pandemic. So now Isham is part of us misfits, like Peter, Lucas, and Nana here from Ghana. Me and Peixe had plans to sail to Praia. He needed to get there so he could get a visa so he could go off and work on a big commercial ship. But there was a problem. Yup, our local wind companion was in full screaming force. There was a weather window, but we had to be swift. Then the other problem was getting permission from the Port Authority for Wendy and her son to sail with us. She'd never been to the city of Praia and always wanted to go. So I wanted to take her, but she had to take her son. And that proved to be complicated with the authorities who required Wendy to get a special letter from the Cape Verde Institute for Minors to board a foreign vessel. Yeah, it sounds complicated, but I believe it's justified. Well, we could not get that permission within the weather window. So I, as the captain, decided to abort our mission. We would weather this windstorm here in Mindelo, I with Galopin in the bay, Wendy and her son in her humble home, and Peixe, well, he boarded a small cargo ship to Praia. He had a meeting to get to for his visa. He later told me the ocean was in its full fury during his journey. Me and Wendy, thank God we stayed back. I felt a strong message from the higher powers to stand still and wait out the wind. I listened, and here I am. But sometimes, I think I must listen more carefully. It was great to have you along on this voyage. Give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you feel any value in this series. Me and Galopin promise you a good time every Wednesday, so welcome aboard.